a new year means new opportunities, and today we're kicking off our New Year, New Job series to help kick down the doors of success. Octavia Goredema is the founder of a career coaching agency, and she's also the author of Prep Push Pivot, which releases Wednesday. She's about to school us on preparing for a new job, transitioning, pivoting, and working your way up that corporate ladder. So let's say good morning to Octavia. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on Start Your Day. So happy to see you.
Good morning, Mike. Thank you so much for having me.
So honored to have you. You're going to give us some great advice here. Let's kick it off with preparing for a new job here. And of course, COVID-19 has severely impacted the workforce. Roughly 10 million Americans lost their jobs, more in the Black and Hispanic demographics at a higher rate. So the question is, how do you put yourself back on the job market, especially after 2 years of COVID?
Yeah, it's been a hard 2 years for so many of us. But the good news is there are so many opportunities out there. And if you have decided that you want to find a new role in 2022, I'm so excited for you. The most important thing is being really clear on what you want and what you're looking for, the type of role you're gravitating towards, and then really focusing your actions and next steps to make sure they're aligned with those goals.
Is it easier these days because there are so many jobs that are out there? A lot of people, there's been this great resignation. So employers are looking, begging for employees right now.
They are, but it's always tough when you are looking for a job yourself because the stakes are high.
Hmm.
Sometimes you might have a role, but you're looking for something better. Sometimes you might be in between roles. So I encourage everyone, be really vocal about what you're looking for. I know if you're in an existing role, you probably don't want your coworkers to know that you're looking, but you have broader networks than you realize. And if you tell people what you want, what you're striving towards, what you're interested in, doors could open for you that you might not have known about otherwise. It's really important to communicate what you want.
Good advice right there. Let's say I've been out of work for a while, and unemployed or just laid off, and I got this big gap in my resume. How do I explain that to a prospective job?
So I advise think of all the tough questions, such as those that you gave, Mike, and practice in advance. Be really clear about what you bring to the table, your most recent experiences, and what you're looking to do next. And don't let anyone who has said no to you before damage your self esteem because every no is going to get you closer to your next yes. But I recognize it can be really hard when you're perhaps not getting responses to applications or having interviews that aren't going any further. So I recommend everyone find a small support squad that they can rely on. I talk about this in my book. We all need someone who we can call, after we've had an interview, maybe that was tough, or maybe to celebrate when we've got through to the next round for our roles. It's really, really important. And also pay it forward for other people in your network who you might know who are looking. Make suggestions to them about people they could talk to or opportunities that they could try, because we all need to help each other through this period.
And I think it's important to be yourself too, to an extent. You can't be overly crazy, but I think the prospective job needs to see who they're actually getting, and we're all going to be professionals. So let's talk about the interview process. How important is it for you to show the prospective employer yourself, who you really are, as opposed to sitting up straight and like, hi, my name is Mike Hill, and you want to be professional, but at the same time you still want to be relaxed on the interview, because how important is it for them to actually see who you are and what they're actually getting, because you don't want to change up 6 months later and then they feel like, oh, this is not the person that we actually hired.
I couldn't agree more. And the first thing I would say is if you're feeling nervous or apprehensive about your interview, remember this. You wouldn't have been called to interview if you couldn't do the job. That's the first thing to remember. And you also have to remember, while the stakes are high, and yes, you might be competing with other candidates and you might really want this position, you have to remember an interview is a two-way process. It's your opportunity to also learn more about the company, the organization, their culture. So really pay attention to what you're hearing as well as what you're going to share. But back to your point, Mike, yes, you do want to be as authentic as possible. And just remember, you wouldn't be called to interview if you couldn't do the role.
Absolutely, and I love the point because when you're actually going on it, you know the type of job that you're actually applying for, and do your research and ask them questions, and that will impress them a little bit more as well. So let's say I already have a
Absolutely.
job. How do you deal with decreased visibility on that job if you already have a job?
Yeah, now that's really common. I'm a career coach and I work with professionals whose roles have changed so much during the past 2 years, and they may have taken on more responsibilities, but maybe aren't able to connect in the same way that they used to with their coworkers and their team. And also, I work with individuals who have started new roles during this time and are trying to figure out, no one knows who I am. How do I navigate that process? So, my first piece of advice is really focus on what you can control and think about, what do I want to be known for? What do I want people to
Hmm.
know about me and what I bring to the table? And then think about, where can you show that? How can you participate? Are there perhaps opportunities at your organization where you can take part where you might not have been before? Also, if you have one on one time with your supervisor, make sure to use that to your advantage. Those are really valuable opportunities to not just share your accomplishments, but to help solve problems and just show what you can bring.
I love that. I love your advice. We want to bring you back tomorrow. I think we're going to have you all week, I believe. I hope we are, because I want to talk to you about, like, say that you're a host of a morning TV show and you're also a managing editor, and you got all these great type of segments that you want to bring to the table and ideas you bring to the table, and then your senior producer doesn't listen to you. No, but am I going too far? Am I going into my own personal thing
No,
here?
I
That's what's
think, Mike,
happening
you're
right
doing a
now.
fantastic job. We can talk about that more tomorrow.
We can do that. Okay, so you're gonna help me back tomorrow. So hopefully I get to interview you tomorrow, because I've just given you the personal information about our show right now, they probably won't let me do the interview and not let me talk to you. But I'll tell you, we appreciate you. You're back tomorrow to talk about navigating the workplace and dealing with micromanaging and all that type of stuff as well. That's coming up. Looking forward to that. Octavia Goredema, thank you for starting your day with us. We really appreciate you.